Okay, so welcome everybody to today's presentation. Just a few housekeeping items as we go on. If you want to just keep yourselves on mute as the presentation is going on, and then Kelly would love to hear any questions that you have after the presentation. So you could unmute yourself, ask any questions, or if you feel more comfortable and want to use the text chat, you can do that as well. And then I could let her know those questions are there. Before I do the introduction, I just wanted to let everybody know for people in Thunder Bay. On December 19th from 11 till 2, we are having our Christmas open house. So you're more than welcome to drop by our new office because we've moved now to the Synergy North building. So 34 North Cumberland Street, Suite 201. So come for refreshments and snacks and hope to see you there. So. All right, so I just wanted to welcome everybody again to coming today to the presentation, or if you're listening to the recording, we're happy that you're as well listening. And we wanted to welcome Kelly Noonan from Decluttered with Kelly, or Decluttered by Kelly, I'm sorry. So I'm just going to do a brief introduction and I'll hand it over to you. So meet Kelly Noonan. Kelly is the owner of Decluttered by Kelly, a professional organizing company based in Thunder Bay. As a trained professional organizer and a busy working mom, she specializes in helping others to create and maintain organized, functional spaces to simplify their lives. So welcome, Kelly.
Hi, thanks, Lori. Hello, welcome everyone. My name is Kelly, and I'm really excited to be doing this here today. Thank you, Perro. So, as Lori said, I'm the owner of Decluttered by Kelly. I'm a professional organizing and decluttering company based here in Thunder Bay. I completed my training and certification through Professional Organizers of Canada. I'm also a member of the Institute for Challenging Disorganization, where I've been continuing my education to help support people with ADHD. So before starting my business, I worked as a nurse for over 20 years here in Thunder Bay and balancing family, career, never-ending demands of life. Like many of you, I face the challenge of managing a home that can feel overwhelming. So, over the years, I've come to realize how deeply clutter affects our well being, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. So, now my mission is to help people create spaces that work with them, not against them. So, I'm just going to share my screen here, just go into the more formal part of the presentation. Okay. So today I'm going to talk about clutter, the impact on your overall well-being. So, sorry, just one second here. Bear with me. Okay. So clutter, the impact on your overall well-being. So we'll talk about today about how clutter impacts our mental health, productivity, and overall quality of life. By the end of the webinar, I hope that you'll have some practical tools to manage clutter, create sustainable systems, and maintain an environment that really fosters clarity, calm, and purpose. So, why does this topic matter? Well, clutter isn't just about stuff, it's about how that stuff affects your mind, energy, and relationships. It can weigh us down, it can zap motivation, it can even impact our physical health. So I have a question for you. You don't have to do anything or write any, just think about this. How many times have you walked into a room and felt just overwhelmed by clutter? So if this resonates with you, that's perfect because today we're going to explore why this happens and more importantly, how to break free from that. So what you'll learn today is the surprising ways that clutter impacts your mental health, practical strategies for tackling clutter, emotional aspects of decluttering, how to prioritize what adds value to your life, and how to maintain an organized space long term. So let's talk about the psychological impact of clutter. Clutter has a profound effect on how we feel. Studies show that it can increase anxiety, stress. It can even contribute to depression. So let's break this down a little bit. So I'm going to talk about visual noise. When you look at this picture, this is what I would call visual noise. There's a lot of stuff going on. So clutter overstimulates our brains. Every object in a room will demand attention, and it makes it harder to focus. It also can make it hard to relax. Decision fatigue. So clutter will complicate decision making. The more items you see, the harder it becomes to make choices about what to keep, to move, or to let go. I like to think about this as a running list in your brain of all the things that you have to do. And just your constant to-do list, which will often make people shut down, and then your productivity is affected. Stress hormones. So I found a UCLA study, studied families, and it found that in particular, women living in cluttered homes have higher levels of cortisol. So cortisol is our stress hormone. So what this tells me is physically, clutter affects us, and it keeps us in this constant state of tension. So I just have another scenario for you to think about. Imagine coming home after a long day, exhausting day. Instead of feeling relaxed, you are greeted with piles of laundry, scattered toys, and an overflowing kitchen counter. So how do you feel? How does that make you feel? If you want, you can write this down on a piece of paper. This just helps you identify how clutter is affecting your emotions and your emotional state. So, without knowing what you're thinking or what you wrote down, I am going to guess that the emotions you may have felt in the previous scenario illustrate what we commonly refer to as emotional weight of clutter. So, how does clutter make you feel? How does it affect your emotions? For me, often if I'm in a highly cluttered area trying to get something done, I can feel overwhelmed, stuck, distracted. So, the emotional weight of clutter. Clutter isn't just physical, it is most definitely emotional. Some examples of this would be a stack of unopened mail, might remind you of unpaid bills. A closet full of unworn clothes could trigger guilt about wasted money. Boxes of sentimental items can bring nostalgia, but it can also bring indecision. So, over time, these subtle emotional burdens accumulate and they leave us completely drained. So, what can we do about this? How do we break that cycle? So, breaking the clutter stress cycle, stress leads to clutter when we avoid tasks, and clutter leads to more stress. So, I'm going to give you 3 points on how to break this cycle. There's many, many more, but these are just my top 3. Start small. Focus on one manageable area, a desk, a drawer, or a corner of a room, something that you can finish in one small amount of time. Use categories, sort items, keep, donate, trash, recycle, or relocate. So relocating items to a better suited place is really a really helpful tool when you're decluttering. You're not going to spend a lot of time thinking about it. You're just going to put that to the side. And when you're done your decluttering session, you're going to put those items away where they belong. So adopt simple habits. Spend 15 minutes a day tidying up high traffic spaces. And just remember, decluttering is a process. It's not a one-time event. Start small, celebrate progress, and notice how you feel when you're done. So I'm going to go back here. Hi. I just want to give you a personal story of somebody I worked with. It's just kind of puts all of this together, what I'm talking about. So, I once worked with a client who, during our initial consultation, she appeared exhausted, frustrated, um, just just totally done with her home. She repeatedly said that she wanted to throw everything out, she wanted to move, she just wanted to start over. So these feelings of hopelessness, being overwhelmed, we ended up working together over several months. We worked together every week. We decluttered and organized every level of her multi-level home. And as the process unfolded, I just noticed this remarkable transformation. She began to look lighter. She seemed genuinely happier. She started to appreciate and value the items in her home. She spoke with love about her space. She started cooking for her family. And previously, she wasn't the primary cook in her home. She actually found it very overwhelming to be in her kitchen. And she grew excited about her future, especially as she prepared to open a new business of her own. So, decluttering and creating that physical and mental space just you know, was what she needed to fully enjoy, all the wonderful things in her life. So that was just a little personal story of somebody I worked with. Kind of puts all of that together. If you're feeling hopeless about your space, about clutter, that these things, they really work. They really work, and it is a bit of a journey, but you'll get there. So we'll just go back to the slideshow. So let's talk about productivity and the physical impact of clutter. So lost time and energy. Um, did you know the average person spends about 55 minutes a day searching for misplaced items? That's nearly 2 weeks every single year. So when your environment is cluttered, it's harder to focus, it's harder to prioritize and stay productive. So a messy desk, for example, can lead to procrastination and make simple tasks feel quite daunting. There is a ripple effect of clutter on our home, work, and personal relationships. So, in your home, clutter makes basic tasks like cooking or cleaning more difficult. And I've seen where a lot of people just stop doing those things because it's just too much to take on at the end of the day. At work, a disorganized workspace can lower productivity and damage personal professional relationships. So this might sound a little extreme, but I think when if you're disorganized, missing deadlines, seem frazzled, you just become unreliable to your coworkers, and that can build some resentment and have effect on your professional relationships. So then personal relationships, clutter can create tension with a family or make you hesitant to invite others over. This is something I see quite often. So here are some quick wins for you. Just um, three little tips to get you started. So if you are surrounded by a lot of clutter and and it's impacting you in negative ways, I would say number one, organize your most used spaces first. Assign a home for commonly misplaced items like keys, glasses, or chargers. Use labeled bins to group similar items together. And you can use my mantra, which is don't put it down, put it away. Most things take less than a minute to put away. So there are signs in your life that you'll see that show you that clutter is impacting you. Here are three. So avoiding certain areas of your home, feeling stressed when trying to tidy up, hesitate to invite guests over because of your space. So take a moment and think about an area in your home or your office where clutter is affecting you. Maybe write it down. Challenge yourself to take that on. So I'm going to talk about decluttering to boost your well-being. I have five strategies that I'll share with you. So start small. I talked about this before, but it really is important to start small. One small task, a single drawer, a shelf, or a nightstand, pardon me, to build momentum. The four box method, label boxes: keep, donate, recycle, and trash. This will simplify your decision making so you're not getting distracted. Mindful decluttering. So ask yourself, does this serve a purpose? Does it align with how you want to live? And think about your answers. And usually, if you don't have a real strong reason to keep that item, it's time to let it go. Sentimental items. So this sentimental items can be tricky. And what I would advise when you're dealing with sentimental items is keep one or two meaningful pieces and donate the rest. Another helpful way to tackle sentimental items is taking photos of the items to preserve the memory without keeping that clutter. So digital clutter. Clear your inbox, delete unused apps, and organize your digital files. So, what's one area in your life or your home that you would commit to decluttering this week? I would suggest writing this down. This will hold you accountable. So, creating lasting change, daily habits. So, daily habits to maintain clutter free living. This is really important, developing the habit of tidying. So spending, 15, maybe 20 minutes every day tidying up is going to help you reduce that backslide of clutter in your life. And then another helpful tip is the one in, one out rule. If you're not familiar with that, for every new item you bring into your home, you get rid of another item. This wouldn't include things like groceries or items like that. It's more like, your shopping, your purchases that you make, buy a couple new sweaters, take a look at what's in your closet, see if you can take a couple out. So, and involve your family or the people that you live with in decluttering. You can make it a fun challenge. This is helpful because the decluttering process is a lot smoother and when you have, everybody on board. And it also is good because then you reduce that risk of having resentment, like you're doing everything. So if you're having trouble implementing these new habits into your life, I would challenge you to time yourself during everyday tasks. I've done this myself. So unloading the dishwasher is not my favorite thing to do for whatever. I don't have a good reason. It just isn't. I just don't like doing it, and I will put it off. So unloading the dishwasher takes 7 minutes. Folding a load of laundry takes 11 minutes. Tidying the living room can take 4 minutes. So, spending 15 to 20 minutes daily will certainly make a noticeable difference over time. And timing yourself can just be that really quick reality check for your brain that is telling you that you don't have enough time. So, let's shift our mindset a little bit. So, we're going to talk about progress over perfection. And I think this is a really, really important topic because decluttering isn't just about creating a Pinterest perfect home. It's about creating space that supports your life and reduces stress. So we know that clutter affects your mental health, productivity, and relationships. Start small. Use simple strategies like I had mentioned, the four box method. And just remember what I said, that decluttering is a journey. Focus on that constant progress, not perfection. So when I'm working with my clients, I often give them homework in between the time until I see them next. So I'm going to do the same here today. This week, I'm going to challenge you to spend 15 minutes decluttering one area of your home and reflect on how it feels. Really feel it and build from there. So, creating a clutter free space isn't just about what you let go of, it's about what you make space for. So, let's prioritize clarity, calm, and the life you want to live. Okay, so I'm going to do some questions and answers.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much for that. That was really great. Yeah, I pictured myself, when I came in, to the house and yeah, all these things where you start something or you want to finish here. And I like how you said about the time too, like, just doing that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah,
And
we
finishing
always think
stuff.
it takes so much time, and
Yeah,
really,
exactly.
you can challenge that. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thank you so much for this. I'm going to open it up. So if anybody has any questions, please feel free. You can unmute yourself to ask the questions, or if you wanted to use the text chat, I'll watch for that too, if you wanted to put a question in there. But go ahead, floor's open. Go ahead,
I
Randy. Yeah.
Hi. So two items, and in the last quite a few years, I've been pretty good about decluttering
Mhm.
because I've moved my mom twice,
Oh, that's big.
and
Yeah.
I don't want my girls, I have three girls, to have to do that when something happens to me or I need to
Mhm.
do that. So I'm trying to get ahead of the game. In the time of COVID was the perfect time to start that. So I'm really sitting pretty well. The only thing is, and you hit upon these topics, and these are two that I just am continually doing on a regular basis. The digital clutter, and for me, it's on my phone. I save a lot of photos of all kinds of different things. What I've started to do is, and a lot of the photos, and I know I need to have them downloaded to keep, say, into a computer. But I'll be on Pinterest or something like that, and there'll be a recipe or a picture of a hobby or something I want to make. And instead of taking pictures, I should just write them down so that I have them. And the other one is I'm really bad with closets. I am con- I think I have purged my closets 3 times, and I was just thinking about it the last couple of days, thinking about coming on here with you. I'm going to have one of my girls come over and help me because
Mhm.
there's no reason why I need 12 fancy dresses when I no
Right.
longer work and I really don't go anywhere, right? So what I'd like to do is maybe go down to 2 and give the others away. So anyways, I'm just owning up to my own
Yeah, that's good.
decluttering.
Okay, good for you. Um, so I have a book like this
Yes,
that I write everything in.
I too.
It's one thing, and
Yeah,
it's my grocery list, it's my to-do list, it's my family, it's my business, it's thoughts I have, it's something I want to do, and I think that it keeps everything all in, yeah, all in one space.
yes,
So, and then it doesn't clutter up. Like you don't have to take a picture of everything. You can just jot it down. You have the
yes,
picture in your brain.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you.
Does anybody else have any more questions? I have to say I'm bad with email, keeping email, and I'm like, I might need that. But when like really, and all these emails that I signed up for, all these newsletters and everything like that, I'm like, my gosh, why do I do this? Because now my inbox has got like 12,000 emails, and I'm like, so I go to start to get rid of them, and I'm like, oh, heart health. Oh, maybe I need to read that. Do you know what I mean? Like, and it's stuff that, you know what? I'm like, Lori, stop. You could get rid of that because you could probably go, you know what? How to improve heart health or something like that and just Google it,
Right.
right? Do you know what I mean? Why do I have to keep all these things? So that's bad. And pictures. Like I know, well, I
Mhm.
mean, I have all my pictures and yes, we've got them up in the cloud and I need to put them on the computer now that we got a newer one. And then with the pictures, oh, that's what makes things so easy now with a phone, right? All of a sudden you're like, oh, I like that recipe. Click instead of just writing it down, right? Like,
Right.
why don't I write it down? Yeah, why do I have everything stored in there?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, and just going to the email, Lori, I can relate, and especially the last week with Black Friday, Cyber Monday. I mean, I'm pretty good about unsubscribing to a lot of things, and I still was just it was anxiety provoking how many emails I was getting, and I don't think people realize that, when you're dealing with a hundred other things, it's just another thing to like just spike your anxiety and like that visual noise that I was talking about, like that's visual noise. So
Right.
clearing that off just really is good for you. And unsubscribe.
Yeah, right.
Like
Yeah.
I do it all the time to get the deal, right? And then I unsubscribe right after.
Yeah, for sure, right?
Yeah.
That's what I got to learn to do. I'm like, oh, okay, well, we might need it when we go down to, Duluth and go to Dick's Sporting Goods next year, right? But I'm like, why do I have to get all these flyers now up until from, for a year worth, right? So I got to do that. Anyways, great.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody else have any questions or that they wanted to ask or stuff to say? Feel free, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hi.
Hi, Sandy.
Hello.
Hi.
I jumped in late and I probably have to leave early, but this topic just is amazing to me. I wish I could have taken notes through the whole thing because the content is so rich. I think as a listener, what I would like more on is step 2. So you covered so many areas about, start here, step 1.
Yeah.
And so I, like everybody, has clutter in one or more areas. And
Mhm.
many years ago, I had someone come in and we did the muck out. Anyway, I ended up in that place over and over and over, but over years, it didn't happen
Mhm.
quickly.
Yeah.
And I'm staring at a whole bunch of stuff, clutter, and I walk around it. I've been walking around it more than a month, and there's no reason for it. So I liked how you linked, I think it was indecision or procrastination or
That decision fatigue.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I just want to follow up with you after because I have many questions.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'd love to
But
chat with you.
the second and third step, so I love the idea, like pick a spot, pick 15 minutes, put the timer on, get it done,
Yeah.
look at how you feel. Great. Now what I'm so
But if you
now how do I create that into a habit and a focus so that I don't end up here again in 3 years or luckily in Canada we have 4 seasons. So
right.
we can clean we have to because our
Well, it's also a challenge. We actually do need more stuff in Canada because we have 4 seasons. Like we can't just get rid of, you know, all of our jackets. And we do need, I mean, I need 3 jackets in the winter. Like I have different levels of of warmth that I need, right? So
yeah,
yeah, no, I hear you on like the, building those habits. And I think that maintenance is the biggest key. And
yes.
when you slip on the maintenance, that's when you see that clutter backslide into your life. So you're talking about a pile of clutter that you walk by every day. I would just say I 100% I believe that's not going to take you as long as you think. So you gotta
Oh, I'm
trick
gonna
your
write that
brain. You
down.
gotta
Yeah,
just
that's the
just
takeaway. Yeah.
start. I tell people that all the time. Just start.
Thank
Those
you. You
work.
you have
Just
you have
start.
inspired me and motivated me, and I'm gonna write that down. Just kind of like Nike. Just do it for Pete's sake.
Well, okay, actually, yeah, that's exactly. Yeah.
Thank you so much
Thanks
for
for
your
sharing that picture or that image too. That's great.
I haven't thought about this topic because I'm developing my own topics, and like all of us being a work in progress,
Yes.
it's have changed my life. And I have the key place that you were talking about. Find a place for those essential things. I know always where my charger is. So I guess also
Great.
honoring your progress
Mhm.
in those little tiny things, because that journey of 1,000 miles takes the single step or the first step. Yeah, but what are all the other ones? Or what are the first 5?
Yeah.
really is
Yeah. So
helpful
once
to
you
me.
get, like, I was talking beginning stages for sure for people who are living with high clutter. But yeah, everything you can keep going with it. Like that is, you're absolutely right. That's just the start. And then as you get a hold of the basics, you can move on to more, you know, to more
Yeah.
organization.
Well, when you become rich and famous and you're on YouTube every week, you'll have a theme and all
Well,
that.
I don't show my face very often. This is like
Well,
the
you have
first
a beautiful face. Oh my God, you're beautiful. What was I going to ask you about was, see, this is what happens to me. So I've been working with and sharing coaching services with an image consultant, and it's been 10 years now. And that really has been instrumental to me to really declutter. So instead of like, I thought that if I were rich and famous, I'd want a walk-in closet. And from working with her for 10 years, I don't ever need or want a walk-in closet.
Yeah, no one does need one.
Yeah. So
Right.
anyway, I'm going to get off. This is your time. But thank you. Thank you.
Does anybody else have any questions or comments? No.
Okay. Well, thank you so
San-
much.
Oh, sure. Yeah, for sure. I just going to say to Sandy, I could send you the recording too. For the parts that, yeah, for sure. And Eliam too, as well. I could send out the recording there as well once it's ready.
I didn't get your name, not your Lori, right?
Yes, Lori.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the presenter's name,
Kelly.
Kelly. Kelly with a Y?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I want to connect
Cluttered
with
by
you.
Kelly.
You know, your message has a year's worth of episodes in it, but the link to mental health and habits,
Yeah.
and that builds resilience, and that part really perked up my ears. So I will watch the recording. Thank you. And I'd love to connect with you again.
Yeah, Kelly, if you wanted to put your email in the chat there.
Sure, I can do
or
that.
any contact information that you want to share, go ahead.
Yep, I have a website now too.
And you know, I didn't hear much about it, but you described a case or a client that you know, your first session, she looked tired and like, and how that stuff affects us is really where the gold and where the change like that awareness of that, right? So maybe
Yeah.
next time we meet, I'm going to do my own personal challenge. And since you don't show your face often, and I don't show my clutter. Well, actually, I don't move it, so it's there all the time. But I'm going to get rid of that pile because that's
good for you. That makes me happy.
and I do it by what day is today? Wednesday. I'm going to do it by No, I'm going to do it today. I'm going to just start. I'm going to do it today. And I will send you a picture of the clear floor.
Oh, I love it. Yes, that'd be great. Yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay, well, if nobody has any other questions, Kelly did put her website in the chat there and her email. So feel free to reach out to her. So thanks everybody for joining us today. And thank you so much for this, Kelly, because it plays a big part, right? I mean, everywhere you go, whether it's your home office or your work office or your home, you know, your car, your phone, anywhere, right? It just, yeah, it affects you in so many ways. So we really appreciate you coming in and talking about this today and putting us all to a challenge. So thank you.
Okay, well, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, everybody. Have a wonderful day, and we'll talk to you all soon.
Thank you.